Hello and welcome to show today. Obviously, today's show be about great deal made on behalf of Mother Russia. But before you enjoy show, please to be subscribing and pressing the like and the thumbsing up yourselves. Take your thumb and up it, you know, the way that the fashion of the Americans do. And also reminding you that the super chats and the Venmoing is a good way to help supporting channel. And don't make me come after you. Спасибо. Cię знаете блуче. Извините. Okay, товарищ. See you in a minute. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's HAL SPARKS Mega Worldwide. It's, what day is it? Oh, yeah, it's Friday. And tomorrow's the radio show. And Philip Ittner will be joining us from Ukraine in the second hour of the radio show tomorrow. Great stuff, and lots to talk about today, not the least of which is, of course, the Brittany Griner release that happened today. Obviously, you know, heard about it this morning when I woke up at butt o'clock when the cats decided to traipse across my genitals and tell me the good news in their own special way. And then, of course, since that moment, there has been a ginormous, you know, right-wing backlash. How dare we? How could we? Of all people, we traded a white guy for a black lesbian? We totally got screwed, is apparently the take across the entire right-wing nut jobosphere. So anyways, before we get started, hit the thumbs up, boost us in the algorithm so we can get started. And you know, I personally, obviously, there's serious issues with a lot of moving parts. And we could go directly to one of the individual people that we cover on the channel with some regularity. Or we could go to a bunch of dumbasses all at once. The lovely folks at Fox are nice enough to put together 5 of their, I guess, keenest minds. I know, criticism by faint praise, but, you know, they've gotten them all together. They're like, hey, we need to cover this issue, and we need to do go around in a preordained circle saying stuff that we worked out in the meeting beforehand, and each person will kind of hold down that. We've got 1 liberal and 4 conservatives, so you know it's fair, you know, kind of like the Senate. Anyways, so here we go. It starts off with, obviously, they're going for the depth of the idea, and the guy who will handle it with the most maturity, Greg Gutfeld, who today is straight from his audition in an ad to play an insurance salesman. We'll see.
Biden White House defending its decision to swap the Merchant of Death for a WNBA basketball star. Brand new video shows Brittany Griner on her way back to the U.S. after 10 months in a Russian prison. She was set to do 9 years.
Well, somebody fell over.
It's a hard time for having cannabis oil in her luggage. Convicted Russian arms.
So far, no jokes.
Dealer Victor Boot was all smiles over.
By the way, that is the proper pronunciation. Points, Greg. Other people having a little bit of difficulty with this one.
The trade. This guy's a seriously bad dude. He was convicted.
That's a seriously bad mustache. Holy shit.
Of conspiring to kill Americans and providing aid to terrorists. Meanwhile, Biden left someone behind, American Marine Paul.
Oh, he did? Oh, he did? Trump left office with Whalen still in office. He was there, or still in captivity. He was there for 2 years. 50% of the Trump presidency was spent with Paul Whalen in jail in Russia.
Paul Whalen snubbed from the prisoner swap. He was doing a 16-year sentence.
So what was Trump doing the entire time he was in prison there?
On bogus spying charges. Peter Doocy asking if America got a raw deal.
In this prisoner swap, why did Russia get such a better deal?
Our choice.
Jesus Christ. Why did they get a white dude?
Choices was Brittany or no one at all. Bringing home one American or no American at all.
Which is, by the way, the Trump deal previously. Maria Butina, for example, we gave her back, got nothing. We could have gotten Paul Whalen back for Maria Butina. Why is that not the question? Why is that not the response back with everybody? You know, Democrats, if and especially Karine Jean-Pierre, if what I would I would request, I would suggest, is that anytime Doofy asks a question like that, or anybody else does, the proper answer is, that's all we could get. If we'd have still had Maria Butina, we could have gotten both of them back. If we still had Maria Butina in jail, we could have gotten Paul and Brittany Griner back. But we don't. Because Trump gave back Maria Butina for nothing.
We gave up a professional athlete. We gave up a prolific arms dealer who was...
We got an American back.
Convicted of trying to kill Americans, who was called the Merchant of Death.
Yes, he got a great label. And she's just a lesbian with tattoos. So gypped.
Professional athlete.
And Peter Doocy's like, don't we have enough black women in this country?
Is also an American citizen. So let's not forget that. Who deserved
an American citizen.
and
Paul Whelan is questioning why more wasn't done to get him back home.
I'm happy that Brittany is going home today and that Trevor went home when he did. But I don't understand why I'm still sitting here. My bags are packed. I'm ready to go home. I just need an airplane to come and get me.
Not quite.
And Republicans warned it.
That's, by the way, that's not true. This isn't because the Russians aren't letting planes land.
This trade puts a bounty on every single American.
Think about the exchange here. The Merchant of Death for a WNBA star who was picked up for marijuana. What a victory for Putin. But what else it does, it makes...
Also, again, if we'd have kept Maria Butina, we could have gotten both of them.
Makes every American who is overseas vulnerable. Why?
Because they're all in Russia. No, that can't be it.
Because they can pick...
Hype train. Thank you, Twitch. Twitch.tv/HalSparks. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime. I'm getting better at this.
You up on a trumped-up charge to get somebody they want out.
All right. So, Harold, I think, by the way, good to see you.
Good to be back.
Yes. I think that, in cable...
Oh, it's awkward. Greg's going to have a real difficulty addressing the fact that black lady.
TV, people don't expect you to have more than one idea in your head at the same time.
No one expects Greg Gutfeld to have more than one idea in his head at the same time. We're shocked when he even has one.
But you can say that you're happy she's back, but this is a lousy deal. You can have two competing thoughts in your head.
No, you can't, because what you're saying is you wouldn't have made the deal. Then you're saying it's not good that we have her back. Fuck stick.
Would you agree with that?
Sure.
No.
First of all, I'm glad she's home, and I pray for Paul Whelan. This is the second time Trevor Reed was released, and he was not released. There's something with this story that I don't fully understand. I agree that these are bogus charges, but there's something here that they have gotten exercised about, the Russians. I'm happy she's home. I would ask those who can't do what you're doing, which is to have two ideas in your head at once, who seem to be so exercised that she's home and they're even fixated on her being a professional athlete. The question I would have is really two. I take the administration at their word that this was the only deal they could get. And for those who believe that because she's home, that somehow or another it's an affront to Mr. Whelan, should we have left her there? I would answer no. We should not have left her there.
Right. No, that's exactly what they're saying. They're not saying, should we have left her there? They're saying we should have left her there. She was a great whipping post for all, great person to tie to the whipping post, that directly because she was there and she's black, she's a lesbian, and she's in the WNBA, and she had pot, CBD, THC cartridges. That was the thing. She thought they were CBD and she brought the wrong ones, allegedly. But the point is they wanted her over there because it was just like, it was a great example to them, exactly like why, just a bunch of racist tropes, quite frankly.
And it seems as if you believe what the administration is saying, this was the only deal that they were offered. Now, again, I hope that the Whelan family, and my prayers go out to them. I read what the Whelan family tweeted. I don't know if we probably all did, but they tweeted that there's no greater success than for a wrongful detainee to be freed and to go home. The Biden administration made the right decision to bring Ms. Griner home and to make the deal that was possible rather than waiting for one that wasn't going to. I hope the Biden administration does not give up on this front. I think Mr. McCarthy, there's some validity to what he's saying about Americans are vulnerable around the world, but I don't think you can blame, I hope he's not blaming the administration for that. I was pleased to see also, as I finish here. Also,
I would like to say for the record, since Trump gave back Maria Butina for fucking nothing, what would deter the Russians from keeping people like Paul Whelan or Trevor Reed, keeping those folks because they know that, America's just going to give back people, not even ask for them. So they'll just keep them as bargaining chips.
Brittany Griner's wife at the White House, she thanked all the people that helped, from even sound like mid-level people in the State Department and overseas, and even Governor Richardson for his help that he provided in this. So whatever was they were able to do to get Paul Whelan home, I hope they don't stop, because he deserves to be home as well.
Of course they are not stopping. They're working on this all the time.
So, Judge,
oh God,
Harold.
So, Judge,
I kind of sense it.
Oh God.
Basically, we were, from what Harold said, Russia had the United States over the barrel. They held all the cards.
Yeah.
They put her away for 9 years, making her an amazing bargaining chip. Was there any way that this could have been done differently?
Look.
Of course, if Donald Trump had been there and had been in charge of this deal, he'd have gotten Paul Whelan out just by asking. Now, he didn't when he could have, but that was then. This is now. Trump has clearly got more power on the world stage now. And if he had won the election, which he didn't, and if he was in power now, he would have felt freed up in his second term to ask for the release of Paul Whelan, which he didn't do while he was president.
When you're dealing with these kinds of negotiations, you have people.
Please tell us, Judge Janine, hostage negotiator.
Under the table, at the table, around the table, on both sides. There's a lot of layers of what's going on. And
I'm sorry, slow down. This is a little complicated. I didn't realize you were so knowledgeable on these issues. I've never seen anyone feng shui a hostage negotiation before.
Be it for me to know. Let me first make it clear. I'm glad she's home. All right. But I'm
glad she's home, but I think we should have left her there. Fuck off.
You've got Obama when he was president and Biden was vice president. The Dems have a history of bad trades. When you give 5 of the worst Taliban in exchange for Bo Bergdahl, who was a deserter,
Okay, fucko. Trump released 5,000 Taliban. Trump got Abdul Baradar out of a Pakistani prison just because he wanted to talk to him, and then released him again. The fuck are you talking about? 5? Eat shit.
That's not a great exchange. But having said that, I heard
He said that at least they got something for it, as opposed to, I suppose. Hold on one second. Let's move this. There we go. I kind of suppose. Do we know? We fucking kind of suppose we know this. Hold on. Back up. I don't even know what details she's pretending to add to this conversation. Honest to God, like the table.
Bergdahl, who was a deserter, that's not a great exchange. But
yeah, we should have just given him 5,000 terrorists and asked for nothing in return.
Having said that, I heard the president this morning. I thought, and you're going to be shocked, I thought he did a great job at the press conference this morning. I thought the Whelan family were incredibly gracious today. But here's the thing.
But we should have left her there.
They're saying it was Brittany or no one. Mm-hmm. But who chose to make the trade? The Russians chose to make the trade. It was the Russians who decided.
Yeah, dummy. You know why? Because they know we give a fuck about our citizens as prisoners. They don't give a fuck. Of course they have all the cards in this situation, because first of all, they know that Victor Boot wasn't being tortured in an Illinois penitentiary. But she was. Someone will always have leverage if they don't give a fuck if the person they're holding of yours dies. Are you fucking stupid? They don't care about Victor Boot. They just want him back so that they can he's probably got he knows like the ATM code for one of the cards they've got that like Putin's like, who had that number memorized? Oh, Victor Boot. Fuck. Well, all right. See if we can get him out.
That this was the moment. They wanted the merchant of death out, the arms dealer out. They're in.
Yes, because they're running out of weapons and they think he'll make a better deal with Iran. Get the fuck out of here.
Middle of a war. What does that tell you? It
tells me that if they take Victor Boot and they send him anywhere, instead of a capture order, there's going to be a kill order from almost every military related, not just ours, in the world. That don't bother. If you see Victor Boot, shoot to kill. That's what's really going to happen. They're not sending him. He's not leaving the fucking country. If he lives 6 months, it'll be a fucking miracle.
Wanted to make a deal. And I don't know if we could have said more or we could have demanded more, but there's a part of me that says, you want the deal bad enough to get that dirtbag, then you make the deal.
I didn't even make that connection, the timing of it and having to do with...
Of course not, Greg, because you can't hold two ideas in your head at the same time. And secondly, they didn't want Victor Boot that bad. He's just embarrassing to release. This is a PR choice.
With the war right now in Ukraine, I didn't even think of that.
We don't have anybody else of theirs, because if we had Maria Butina, that would have been the exchange.
That is chilling. Dana,
Is it?
I want to see this.
Just chilling. I'm very chilled by the whole thing. Like, I understand. There's a lot to this, multiple layers.
Can we throw up this Randy Weingarten tweet? You know her. She runs the unions. Come on.
Teachers Union.
There you go. What a great relief. Extraordinary news. A basketball star, but also a gay black woman, is released. And, of course, we want the other prisoners like Paul Whelan released, too. It was like such an afterthought.
It might be the worst tweet of 2022.
Yeah. I wonder if
that didn't come from your guys.
Whelan is wondering if he should start identifying as a black lesbian.
Okay, yeah, he wrote that down. That's the comedy part. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for chiming in. We all feel so much better that the Five has maintained its standards of quality and humor. Listen to fucking. I mean, in all fairness, Dana Perino has no sense of humor. But as we have seen multiple times, when she had to host the other show, she filled in for him on Gutfeld, which God knows the fuck. But listen to her response to his joke. Like he's got these written down. She knows it. He literally wanders around the green room in the makeup chair, like pitching ideas because he thinks they're genius and like going, this was going to kill him. And I guarantee this is one of those.
Lynn is wondering if he should start identifying as a black lesbian.
I'm sure he wonders, right? I mean, I thought that.
Jesus Christ. God damn. Oh yeah. Well, thanks. Hold on. Chud is asking about me. Hi, Chud. I'm doing a show, kiddo. What are you doing? I know. Hello. Hold on. Hello. I have to do. I'm doing a show. She's like, can I get a lift upstairs? Hold on. Be right back. Sorry about that. I had to be a human cable car for a cat. I know I'm getting in between her and exercise. It's a mistake, but I'm doing my best. All right. So where were we? Oh, yes. Greg Gutfeld's jokes were eating shit, even in a Christmas episode. It's nice. They got the look at it. There's a lot of red in those trees. Are those like leftover Melania trees that she sent them?
The press secretary's response, even to Peter Doocy today, to say, "Well, Brittany Griner is also an American."
Yeah.
That was a decent answer there. But I think that also what you were asking Harold initially, even Brittany's wife had those two thoughts in her head and shared them with everybody. She has a range of emotions, and she.
Yes, that's what we're seeing amongst the five today is a range of emotions.
She promised that she and Brittany are going to continue to use their power, their voice, and their celebrity and the backing of the media in order to help get Paul Whelan out and other hostages that are being held around the world. So you can think of this as a tactical win and a strategic loss because.
Why is it a strategic loss? Fuck. All right, look. Victor Boot and the Lord of War movie and all that kind of shit and his kind of mythology around this fucking dude. He got a 25-year sentence. 25 years. Think about people who've gotten more time than that and weren't arms dealers known worldwide. He served 11 of those years in an Illinois prison. And he's outlived his usefulness largely. The rest of the world, and especially the theaters of war he was involved in, have moved on. Now, I'm sure that I guess he could arrange with the Wagner Group and buy some shit from them from Iran but that's already happening. And they're not going to just like fly him down to Africa and tell him like, buy some guns and try to help us destabilize Canada from here. Good Lord.
Putin has wanted Boot for many, many years. And what he's been doing is taking higher and higher profile targets until he could ratchet up the pain enough that we would say, all right, you can have Victor Boot back. And what Kevin McCarthy was saying is just a general concern that the State Department has long.
Well, they've already got, then according to Dana Perino, they've got Victor Boot. What the fuck more do they want? And we gave them Maria Butina for free.
Which is, if you tell these regimes that you're going to get what you want, if you target our people. Remember,
it's like we don't negotiate with terrorists. We do this kind of prisoner swap all the fucking time. And again, if you tell these kind of regimes that you'll just give them their people back anyways. What the fuck standard does that set? You don't even have to give us one of our people back, even though you've got two of them right now. Yeah. Take her. Get her the fuck out of here.
Remember Otto Warmbier of North Korea and what they did to him? He died. And he was a student at UVA. But they know that Americans will do what we have to do and make really hard decisions and tough choices for them. Trevor Reed also, when he was released.
Yes. Again. We got him back. What concessions beyond what we know of did Trump offer Kim Jong-un for Otto Warmbier?
He was very upset that Paul Whelan had not been released at the same time. So I'm just wondering at this point then, what is our leverage? If what Putin wanted the most was Victor Boot, what's the next ask in order to get Whelan? What do we have on the table to offer? I'm not sure.
Here's another thought. And I, as someone who regularly has multiple thoughts in my head that can, I got plenty of hard drive space. Here's one of them. It gives us impetus through our NATO partners and allies and other Western countries and even some of the countries that are kind of on the edge of our influence, like China and Qatar and that kind of stuff, that if they find an oligarch in and amongst their midst to snatch that fucker up and keep him. How about that? We actually, now that they have one chip and we have none, there's actually a good reason for us to go snatch up some of these fuckers that have taken it on the heel and toe since this war started. Derp.
Jesse, what are your thoughts?
It was a bad trade.
It was a bad trade. First of all, she's gay and black. Who needs it? Second of all, we should have released Victor Boot
Worse than the Sixers sending Barkley to the Suns.
No, that had vaguely tinges of a deflated Dennis Miller to it.
This woman, I'm glad she's back.
I'm glad she's back, but I'm not
anti-American. She's probably a little less anti-American now.
Right, maybe.
And Whalen's probably an intel guy, and Putin wouldn't let him go. But I find it hard to believe
probably an intel guy? Again, gibberish, no. Jesse Waters looks like an old man wearing a young boy's face. He's Stretch Ben Shapiro. That's what he's always been. Like, if you take Ben Shapiro and go, that's him. Whalen's not an intel guy. And by the way, by even saying that, you're giving aid and comfort to the enemy. You're saying you probably caught somebody. He's probably a real spy. He was fucking at a wedding, and his buddy who he was helping with the wedding, who has a brand new Russian wife all of a sudden, gave him a thumb drive with wedding pictures on it to take home, and he got busted holding it because it looks like his buddy set him up.
We didn't have more leverage. If we're sending all these weapons that are killing the Russians, if we have all these sanctions on the Russians, if we have all this energy in the ground of the United States, we couldn't have gotten a better deal. I don't know. And we had to let the Saudis broker it.
They didn't broker it, fucko. They were just the neutral territory.
Biden now needs the pariah for oil and hostages. This guy hung up the phone on Joe. Joe went over, fist bumped. He stopped production, slowed it down, and then
he stopped production. He slowed it down. You know, they're fucking with us. Hold on one second. Yeah, they lowered production, which always has a tendency, get out of here. Go away. Quit it. WTI crude, $71.02. Heading into 60 category. Brent crude, 76. Murban crude, 75.40. Natural gas is up 4%, though. Even because it's effectively tanked. Louisiana Light's doing 73. Bonnie Light, my Bonnie Light over the ocean. My Bonnie Light ruins the sea. All right. Bring back my... Okay, and OPEC basket is at 79 because they're jacking it up. But it's driving their price down. By the way, JP Morgan, Kolovec, sell. Investors should use the divergence in performance of oil stocks and crude oil so far this year to sell energy stocks in the near term. Still bullish on the energy sector in the long term. Believes share prices could start to drop. He told clients in a recommendation note dated Thursday and quoted by Bloomberg. Investors now have the opportunity to sell. Get out of oil because Joe Biden has made the Saudis lower production, thereby raising the price and profitability of oil. Oh, wait, no?
He's begging him to cut a deal, and he gets the merchant out. I mean, I don't know if Little Rocket Man can do any worse for the United States, but this was bad on all accounts.
On all accounts, yes, especially the part where we got the black lesbian back.
Now, the merchant, after the Soviet Union collapsed,
The Soviet Union. Now, I'm not familiar. What was that organization again? One second. I beg your pardon. There was who?
On all accounts. Mm-hmm. Now, the merchant, after the Soviet Union collapsed.
The Soviet Union, the Soviet Union, right.
He took all of the stockpiles of weapons, loaded them up into cargo aircraft, and just dumped tens of thousands of AK-47s into every jungle, every desert, every insurgent group, terrorist group, cartel.
Right. And what do you think they want him back for? To go get those things back? You think he's going to do that again? Fucking Russia's running out of arms. Do you think they want Victor Boot back so they can go see all these AK-47s that we desperately need on the front lines and we don't have enough of? Yeah, take those down and sell them cheaply to African warlords and stuff like that. I just want to see what happens. Shut up.
African war criminal got more AK-47s than they ever needed. And so this guy's got American...
Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure that's Maria Butina meeting him as he comes off the fucking plane.
Blood in his hands, and he's probably going to lead to more American deaths. Putin targeted Britney. He knew by choosing a black lesbian celebrity, it would put the political squeeze on Biden. And now every dictator knows
if all we need to do is get our hands on a black lesbian celebrity. Fuck, how are we going to manage this? If only Whoopi Goldberg would travel to our country, we could free all of our comrades.
A woke hostage is going to spring you if you're a Democrat in the White House. Now,
as opposed to if there's a Republican in the White House, you don't even need a hostage. We'll just give you your person back in the case of Maria Butina. The shit.
I have to say something.
Yeah, you just did, and none of it made any sense, but I'm glad you're upset. You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that any day that Jesse Waters is pissed is a good day. You could almost like check it like the weather. Will I need an umbrella today? Oh no, Jesse Waters is upset. It's going to be a good one.
If you're Britney's agent and you're sending Brittany Griner to Russia a week before Putin invades Ukraine.
Yeah, why didn't the WNBA know that Putin was going to invade Ukraine? Why didn't she know that? I mean, isn't that what you give them 10% for? You think Jesse Waters like checks in with his agent every time he travels? My wife and I are going to the Bahamas this week. It's not going to be a coup or anything.
That's on you.
Yep.
Yeah, stupid agent. The agent owes us Paul Whelan.
This woman, Lindsay Kagawa-Kolis,
fuck the world.
Sent her client with drugs to Russia while there was battalions encircling Ukraine and said, oops. I mean,
by the way, there's been fighting going on in the Donbass region since 2014. Even previous, there were dust-ups. And there's been multiple times where Putin has amassed troops on the border and then backed off. The question this time was, and the Biden administration called it, as did I, that it was going to happen this time. But the agent has every reason to believe that this was going to be just like the other times that Putin had amassed troops on the fucking border. She didn't have like access to top level intelligence, you know. And by the way, this was during a period when he had not yet sent the medics to the front line, which was the big tip off.
You almost can't blame Putin because he's an animal. Animals do what animals do.
Right. He's incapable of conscious thought. He just humps whatever flag is around. Oh, wrong guy. Sorry.
They're going to take a hostage.
Yes, animals just take hostages. And then if you've ever tried to negotiate with an animal, all right, Poochie, come on out. Let the hostages go. What do you want? He wants dog biscuits. He wants a scratch on his belly and a hydrant to hump. We can't help you on the third one, but we'll work on it if you just send us the children.
This woman, when Brittany comes down, she should kiss you.
Grant boy. Elon Musk for president. Elon Musk can't run for president, dipshit. He's not an American citizen. I mean, he wasn't born an American citizen.
Soil and fire this agent.
But try harder.
That's funny that it's the agent that you're really mad at.
It is true. I agree.
I don't know. But you think that
like everybody's fucking confused.
Agent is more to blame?
Look at Greg. He's like, I don't know. I thought you were fucking around. I thought that was a bit. This isn't, we're not serious, are we?
Putin's obvious to blame, but listen, when you play with a tiger, the tiger's going to smash your face in.
When you play with a tiger, the tiger's going to smash your face in. And if only Jesse Waters had been Siegfried and Roy's agent, all that could have, all right.
Oh, man, that's pretty interesting.
While you were traveling there.
Oh, man, that's pretty interesting. Anyways,
Jesus.
At that time, there were travel warnings everywhere for Americans not to go.
Well, there were other Americans on the team.
Yeah, there are other Americans on the basketball team.
Yeah,
anyway,
I wouldn't have any of the team.
And fortunately for them, they weren't chosen. Putin chose her.
Fortunately.
He's the star with the drugs.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she now understands the sacrifice this country gave for her, because we don't know what this guy will be capable of now that he's free.
He's only 55 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Only.
Look, don't underestimate America's ability to follow people also. So, I mean, he got out, but I think America, we got a pretty good military.
Hit him with a drone strike.
We still got a pretty good military here.
Yeah. All right.
I went up. Yeah. Like, that's, again, by the way, how long did it take for Harold to get around to the point that I made? And Greg's response was, yeah, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. They posted that. That's their collective take on the Brittany Griner deal. Now, they're not the only ones who've had one. By the way, give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. If you like the show, please support it in any way you can. If you hate the show, please continue to watch and drive my numbers up. Also, subscribe, because, frankly, trolls, without me, you're nothing. You have nothing. You are hollowed out inside. If you can't come over here and clamor for attention, where are you going to go? Huh? TYT? You'll get lost in that crowd. There's opportunity for growth here. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to cut over to a shot right now. Now, when you thought the 5 would have one of the worst takes on the Brittany Griner release, there are a lot of people all of a sudden jockeying for that medal. They are reaching for that ass ring. And not the least of which is apparently the vampire Leshat, Candace Owens. Does she work like part-time in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland as one of the dancers in the hall? This room has no windows and no doors. That's fantastic. By the way, those kind of outfits were designed when you didn't have a lot of police around and women needed protective clothing. And there were so many buttons, it took you forever to get in and out of that thing. You'd hope the evildoer would lose interest or at least lose his erection and run off. That said, I don't know. It's a fancy outfit. I'm a little bit jealous as a closet glam vestite. Maybe she came straight from waltzing class. Who can say? But you like the vampire Leshat, did you? I'm sorry, I was just riffing. But this is titled "Worst Trade in History: Russian Arms Dealer for Brittany Griner." And by the way, I would like to remind you that for Maria Butina, we got nothing. And as far as like PR moves, the Russians were very excited to get her back. She basically got the modern equivalent of a ticker tape parade. She got a hero's welcome. As a matter of fact, during this trade today, she was on the Solodyov fucking show. So, but I'm curious. You're curious about Candace Owens' take on this. Obviously, you're going to see one of the crucial, and she's got notes. And unlike that fucking hack Ben Shapiro, she moves her laptop to the side, rakishly, like the brim of a hat. Yeah. Oh, you have taint hickey in your brain? I'm sorry. Well, granted, Candace Owens went from Trump taint hickey giver to questioning. I won't say she's completely out, but she's entered the questioning zone of it. But I want to hear why she thinks that getting an American back for a trade is somehow worse than getting nothing back.
Moving on, you guys, to a happier story. And
oh, good. Hold on. That's fucking loud.
By happier, I mean sadder. That's what
I see, because you live in the upside down.
I meant by happier.
Yeah, it's so good.
But it's funny. At least
it's so funny. We got, we had a woman who's going to do hard labor in a Russian prison for 9 years, and it could have resulted in her death. And then we got her back, which is fucking awful.
It's funny in a sad way, but I'm sure you guys have been following the Brittany Griner story. She's a
Oh yeah, we've been following.
WNBA player and she got caught with cannabis cartridges going into Russia. That's
Yes, which I think 9 years, shit, I don't understand why they didn't do firing squad. Explain it to us, Candace.
a big no-no.
Can I call you Candy? How about Cavity?
No, it's Russia. And she was sentenced to prison there. And obviously this caused an uproar because how could a WNBA player who just wanted to smoke a little pot be sentenced to a sweatshop in Russia? And by the way,
a sweatshop? She wasn't sewing hoodies, fucko. All right.
I have been vocal. I thought the punishment was extreme for the crime, right? I'm not one of these people that's like, oh no, lock away every single person that has a cartridge of marijuana on them. I think what she did was stupid, and she's anti-American, and she's constantly commenting on America. But at the same time, I think that this sentence was...
You know who was also anti-American? Maria Butina, and we gave her up for free.
Also extreme.
You know who's also anti-American? The 5,000 Taliban Trump released. Abdul Baradar was, I would qualify as anti-American, and Trump released them for nothing.
So I am in the middle of this. She's now been released in a prisoner swap, which...
Dear God.
Is just the most ridiculous.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Why would we even give anything for an American citizen trapped overseas and used as a political...
That's all I've ever heard. They swapped Brittany Griner for a merchant of death.
No, excuse me, not a merchant of death, the merchant of death. If you're going to use somebody's stupid wrestling level nickname given to them by the press, at least get it right.
Arms dealer, Victor Bout, a Russian merchant.
Boot. He's not fucking Canadian.
Merchant of death, that's what he's called. Arms dealer.
That's what he's called. You call him, that's his pronouns, merchant and death.
So I'm just trying to picture Putin getting this phone call because it's just so ridiculous. Ring, ring, ring.
Oh, God. Greg Gutfeld, tune in. Somebody's trying to steal your thunder. By the way, this is a very disturbing freeze frame.
Mr. Putin, America is...
Did they leave the T out just to fuck with him, or is it PU''IN?
On the line, and they are very sad that you're keeping Brittany. I do not care. I do not care. We're keeping her. This is ridiculous. She's smoking pot. This is a very bad Russian accent, but let's go with this, right?
Yeah, we're with you.
Okay, America's on the phone again, and they're very, very sad. They say they're super sad that you have her. What is he calling me about the emotions of the Americans? I don't care about the emotions of the Americans. Oh.
Why are they calling Africa right now? Why are they calling one of Trevor Noah's characters?
Okay, well, the activists in America say they're super de-duper sad, and they're wanting to know if they gave you your arms dealer, who is referred to as the merchant of death, would you give them back their pot-smoking WNBA player? Is this a prank? No, it's just Western philosophy. It's just America.
Yeah, it's Western philosophy. That's the way I look at it. This is going very well. When does and by the way, does Ben come in and get the studio when you're done? Or are you only allowed to shoot in a small corner of it like Kimberly in Don Jr.'s office living room area?
America. So they want to feel good. So if you can just please.
Yes, we just want to feel good. We don't really care about her. We don't care if she dies or is injured over there when they've given her 9 years for THC cartridges in a vaping pen. And look, we know she's being used to manipulate the United States. But at the same time, she's a living, breathing human being who could die. Same as Paul Whelan, by the way. By the way, when we get Paul Whelan out, the story about him will be that he was dishonorably discharged and charged with larceny. He was kicked out of the Marines. Right now, he's former Marine Paul Whelan. The minute we trade somebody to get Paul Whelan out, these same fuckers will say, why'd we trade anybody for that fucking guy? Guaranteed.
Please give them their openly lesbian, pot-smoking basketball player. They will give you back your merchant of death. because I don't know, it's America and it's 2022. And so this makes sense in 2022, where everything is rainbows and sprinkles and it's all about how we feel, not the practicality of what's taking place, which is that nowhere ever in the history of the world would any sane individual say it's a good idea to swap somebody that is entitled the merchant of death and is an arms dealer for a possible WNBA player. Two things.
Well, sure. Actually, there's a great reason. We covered it when we talked about the Five's take on it, was specifically that in the 90s, the skill that Victor Boot developed was that he would take leftover munitions and military stuff and sold it to the rest of the world, basically right out from under the Russians. We're now finding that that's been one of their problems, that they don't have enough weapons, they don't have enough vehicles, they don't have enough tanks, they don't have enough munitions, because some asshole named Victor Boot sold off a lot of it with the help of these oligarchs. There is a reasonable chance that the reason why Putin wants him back is so that he can fucking kill him personally. Victor Boot is one of the reasons why the Russians don't have enough stuff to fight in Ukraine. Believe me, there'll be a chatbot running a Twitter account for Victor Boot, and he'll be 6 fucking feet under.
Can be true at once. Her sentence is harsh, but also, if we're going to get her back, it shouldn't come at this cost, right?
No, I don't care. He's not going to be able to do what he did now, and if he tries, he'll get drone striked or shot. We didn't have UN troops in a lot of those places. We didn't have American troops in a lot of those places when he was operating, fucko. You don't think we know where he is? Holy shit, I'd be surprised if we didn't give him an injection in his spinal column that has a fucking tracking device.
That's the answer here. And just in case...
He's got window cancer in Bout's future. In Boot's future. That's funny.
You didn't realize how patently ridiculous the toddlers and tiaras that are running our nation are. Joe Biden, who can barely speak at the...
Yeah, he has a stutter, but he manages to do shit that Trump couldn't do. Weird.
At this point, he had these words to share about Brittany Griner's release.
Brittany is an incomparable athlete.
Okay, let's stop right there. I'm sorry. Did he just say Brittany is an incomparable athlete?
Yes, he did. He said it very clearly after you just told us that he can't speak. You heard him. He said the words. You heard him correctly. I'm going to go with you're an asshole.
Who wrote this? What are we talking? It's the WNBA. There's no such thing as an incomparable athlete in the WNBA.
Okay, so this is generally about the fact that women basketball players aren't worth a goddamn. So this is her dunk, no pun intended.
It's WNBA. So for all three of...
Well, she's incomparable, I would argue, in her field, is the idea. Right? I mean, most basketball players, like Michael Jordan, is an incomparable athlete in terms of, I guess, basketball, but he's very comparable in terms of baseball. And he's not comparable in regard to football. Who gives a fuck?
Of my listeners who watch the WNBA religiously, I'm going to have to assume that there are some athletes that we can, in fact, compare to Brittany Griner.
Oh, God.
All of them, probably.
Also, by the way, if they've achieved the status of being in the WNBA or the NBA or professional athletes, they are, to some degree, incomparable with everyone else who plays the fucking sport. And as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why she's on the kind of goodwill team and touring all over the world playing games is because of that.
Probably can be compared to Brittany Griner because probably a high school male basketball team could defeat the WNBA.
All right, yeah. So this is part of the sort of like douchebag, like low rent, patriarchy wannabe stuff that Candace Owens participates in.
It's meant to be insulting. It's just a
yeah, you do.
Ridiculous statement to say.
Also, that's ridiculous that a high school male basketball team could beat a WNBA team, like a professional team. It's just dickish. Jesus.
That she is incomparable as an athlete. But go ahead, Biden. Let's see if you can stick in some more ridiculousness.
Brittany is an incomparable athlete, a two-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA. She endured.
Yeah, that is a part of it. Being on a gold medal team, that raises you up a notch.
Mistreatment at a show trial in Russia with characteristic grit and incredible dignity. She represents the best America. Best about America. It is across the board, everything about her.
No, she doesn't. She vapes marijuana, okay? That categorically makes you less of an American. Jesus Christ. But freedom. All right.
She represents the best that America, the best of America across the board. This is the Brittany Griner. This is it. This is the best. This is Americanism right here. When I think of America, when I salute the flag, when I pledge
as a gold medal Olympiad and a wife and future mom, I suppose, is where he's going with that. And why not? Now, if she decides to like make a heart, like jerk the wheel and go, no, Paul Whelan does, we'll see where the argument lies. But at this point, she's just basically saying she ain't worth it.
Allegiance to the flag. When I wear red, white, and blue on the 4th of July.
Well, baby blue.
And
no other day.
And I am thinking about all of the ways in which I love my country. Brittany Griner is the first thing that comes to mind. I don't know about you guys. But that's me. I'm like, oh, thank you for the brave people that have fought for our country's freedoms, because it allows us to have pot-smoking WNBA players. This is really the best that America has to offer. It really is. And that is...
Is this jealousy? Or is this just sour grapes squeezed, like stomped into wine? Because at this point, there's so little emotional connection to this. It's just, it feels like like a rubber stamp political theory. It feels like she knows she has to decry this, so she's just doing it. Right? That's because none of this holds any meaning for the vampire Lachette. I don't know what cosplay she was doing at Colonial Williamsburg before she came in, but I don't even get from her that she's genuinely jealous or that she genuinely gives a shit about any of this. This is simply, you gotta do this segment, and this is the take. There's not going to be any variety in it. There's not going to be variation in ethic or philosophy. There's not going to be any depth of thought. This is just an opportunity for snide bullshit. That's all. Right? Because I'm not getting that she genuinely gives a fuck, other than she's mildly perturbed. And since you're dealing with the release of a woman whose life mattered and was going to be sentenced, she was sentenced to 9 years hard labor. They already had, like, the holding cell she was in was made for a much smaller person. And so where they were sending her, I mean, she's taller than almost every Russian dude. But honest to God, I don't get the feeling that she actually gives a fuck. That's what's probably the worst part of this.
An extremely depressing narrative about the state of things today, but it's an honest narrative. I really do believe that the left sees this as a win, that
most Americans would.
They care so much about how they feel on the inside that they would be willing to put our country at danger. They would trade anybody to protect a lesbian pot-smoking basketball player. That's just...
No. If they were on the run, if a lesbian pot-smoking basketball player had, I don't know, murdered some people and then fled to another country and was seeking asylum there or something like that, yeah, I wouldn't give a shit. None of us would. But somebody who was being tortured basically to put pressure on the United States in exchange for somebody who, if he leaves the country, he's dead. And more than likely, if he stays in the country, he's dead. I don't give a shit.
That hates America. Like, that's exactly what the left is all about. And unfortunately, what this really represents is the decline of the West.
That's right. The Western decline, giving a shit about your own citizens, regardless of anything they've said in the past, because their life matters. You would almost say that the left is being, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Pro-life in this situation because her life is in danger being in a Russian prison. That getting her home is worth it on its face. Or we could have allowed them to keep her and continue to put pressure on the United States by threatening her safety or ratcheting up the circumstances she found herself in by like moving her to a worse prison, putting her in a more dangerous circumstance. And every time we try to negotiate or do something that, you know, they would use her as leverage. So just getting her out of there in and of itself stops any further negotiations where we would have to, acquiesce to any of Russia's demands in terms of that.
That's the truth. The West is declining.
No, we're not. But and obviously we're not declining because you, ma'am, are dressing like us in the 15th century.
We are in a steep decline right now.
It's a steep decline. It's gonna, by Christmas, we're fucked. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. Hold on. Thank you for the super chats, by the way, and thank you for the Venmo. It's right there. Sorry if my head's getting in the way. I put it behind me because I kept ducking behind it and whatever.
Because we have leaders that can look you in the eye and tell you that people like Brittany Griner are the best that they have to offer. So yes, Putin is laughing because he should be laughing.
He's laughing because he's drunk. He's going full Yeltsin. Hold on one second. I'll show you what I mean by that in case. Not that dipshit actually knows what the fuck she's talking about. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me try this. Let's see. I think I just do Putin. Yeltsin will probably. Whoops. Will probably be it'll probably come up from that. Yeah. So, there you go, Vice Gred. Looks like Putin is turning into Yeltsin, meaning drunk all the time.
Да, мы делаем это. Ну, кто начал? Кто ударил по мосту по Крымскому?
He's had a few at this point. Also, might be mixing with his medication. Just saying. It's also, and our dear friend Philip Ittner said he was reluctant to post this because it looked altered. And by the way, and this is the translated version. The reason is because they try to make it look as real as possible if they did try to alter it in any way. But because he sounds drunk, but it sounds like they redid his voice to a lot of people, like they had somebody voice it over. All the nonsense, the informational standoff, the informational throw-ins, and all the fakes. They must stand aside. They should not prevent us from fulfilling our duty to our people. And you don't need to be particularly well-versed in this informational confrontation to understand what's actually going on. Fucking drunk gibberish.
В этом информационном противоборстве, чтобы понимать, что происходит на самом деле.
By the way, this reminds me of Trump doing his little like lonely interviews at Mar-a-Lago. And of course, this is the room that whenever he enters this space, he comes out and these guys open these doors for him like he's coming out of a fucking wedding cake. There's a lot of noise right now about our strikes against the energy infrastructure of the neighboring country, is what he says.
Вот сейчас много шума по поводу наших ударов по энергетической инфраструктуре соседней страны.
Yes, we are doing it, but who started it? Who struck the Crimean Bridge?
Да, мы делаем это.
You guys did. To stop your own people from fleeing Crimea and to keep your military from escaping across the bridge so that you could really only bring people in and throttle people getting out. It's why one of the lawyers that represents some of the oligarchs was killed in the blast.
Кто начал? Кто ударил по мосту по Крымскому?
Who blew up the power lines of the Kursk nuclear power station? I don't know. You guys smoke in a lot of weird places.
Кто подорвал линии электропередач?
Like he's entering into Dean Martin territory. There's nobody. If somebody loves you.
Атомной электростанции Курска.
Who is not providing water to Donetsk?
Кто не подает воду в Донецк?
Not providing water to a city with 1 million population is an act of genocide. Huh?
Неподача воды в миллионный город – это акт геноцида. Никто, нигде.
No one said a word about it anywhere.
Словом об этом не обмолвился. Вообще. Молчок полный.
At all. Complete silence.
Стоит нам только пошевелиться, что-то сделать в ответ.
Just as we make a move, do something else, noise and crackle start for the whole universe.
На всю Вселенную.
This will not prevent us from completing military objectives.
Это не будет нам мешать выполнять боевые задачи.
So, yeah, he's not laughing. It's a mess. There's nothing to gain from fucking Victor Bout. Dude has been out of the game for 11 years, and more than that, 13 now.
Most ridiculous trade ever in the history of the world. It's like trading LeBron James for Danny DeVito.
I would take that trade, actually, considering LeBron James's attitude towards China. Where is he? Is LeBron James in China? Because I think he would just stay. I'm sorry, LeBron fans, but it's Danny DeVito. It's fucking Danny DeVito. The man is a national treasure. And at no time has he made excuses for the CCP just to make money through the NBA. I'm just saying.
I like Danny DeVito. I like Danny DeVito's movies, but I don't think that the Lakers should take him to play basketball.
Oh, I see. Actually, as a game thing, that's a short joke. Do you think she probably thinks Danny DeVito could beat a WNBA team, though? So, you know.
It's a ridiculous trade because he doesn't even play basketball. In the realm of politics.
By the way, notice how her analogy doesn't bring in the question of life and death or, safety, any of that other stuff. It's just kind of a rudimentary height joke.
Brittany Griner being swapped for an arms dealer makes entirely no sense. It makes the kind of no sense like swapping LeBron James for Danny DeVito.
No, it's a terrible analogy. Good luck, though.
For basketball.
By the way, if the Lakers traded LeBron James for Danny DeVito and Danny DeVito started every game, I would go to Laker games. I don't know anybody who wouldn't. I'm not kidding. Like, can you think of a better, bizarre, PR stunt? If you couldn't afford LeBron James anymore, and all you had to, trade for somebody, and you're like, I will take Danny DeVito. You what? Yeah, and he's going to start every game. He's going to throw the first thing in. Are you kidding me? Ticket sales would go through the fucking roof.
Team.
Yeah, he could do it as the Penguin. He could do it in his outfit from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He could do it dressed as Lou from Taxi.
Would make
Louis De Palma.
It would be like swapping Pokemon cards, and someone's like, "Hey, I got Pikachu," and then you come back at them and you're like, "Okay, I have Arthur the Aardvark."
Aren't you adorable? We're all on board with that, right? It's a ridiculous trade. Arthur the Aardvark. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, what's next? Can at least have some Magic the Gathering. The shit?
What?
Right. That's what we're all saying, Candace. The fuck are you talking about?
But that's not even a Pokemon. We even say it doesn't matter because it's a.
What the fuck are you talking about? You just look like you came from a finger sandwiches tasting competition.
Trade. It's the worst trade possibly ever. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow time is already up, which means the next portion of the show is going to be available exclusively on Daily Wire Plus.
Oh, well, I'm so glad I'm going to, you know what? Pass. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. She posted that. She thinks that's a great example of an argument about this stuff. That's fucking stunning to me. You know what's also fucking stunning? That you haven't given a thumbs up yet. See what I did there? Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're on Twitch. Follow. You're scrolling by. I'm in your just chatting field. Hi. Hey, Twitch people who are just looking for something to watch. I'm awesome. Come on by. Also, YouTube, Facebook. Hi, Facebook. We're up on there, right? Everybody's running okay. Let me know in the chat room if we're all right. I always have to check in on those things. There you go. There they are. Thank you. That's right. Become a follower / supporter / whatever on Facebook if you don't mind. Yeah. There you go. You're getting better at it. I'm trying. I will. Aaron West says check Venmo. I will. Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you for the BG coverage. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad to cover it. Now we have to take I think we handled it for the most part. That is the state of the argument. I think actually. Yeah. 1 second. Because there's actually, I've got one more we could go to. I mean, there's a bunch. Like, everybody's fucking chiming in on this shit. Oh, good Lord. But I prefer the sort of more direct takes, the people who are, I suppose, that are all in on it. You know, some people are, like doing kind of the Judge Janine right now, where they're trying to, give me a second, and we'll find this. Yeah, here you go. This is...
the White House is defending their Russian prisoners.
Okay, and today, this is just floating disembodied head Glenn Beck, because I can't see his body because he's wearing his camouflage business suit. We have to think up, Army insurance salesman, Glenn Beck action figure, I think is what it's happening. Yes, it's formal cameo, because he's having his second bris today. The first one didn't take. The guy needed a bigger magnifying glass. Oh yeah. And, but you have to understand, Glenn, excuse me, Glenn wants us to know, that, the trade wasn't worth it either, because you have to know how terrible Victor Boot was 15 years ago.
Swap.
What'd he call me? I'm not even Italian.
It is. It's amazing. Now, I know that I have a different opinion on this, but...
do you now?
It has always been my feeling, and what I always say to my kids whenever we go to another country. You have a passport, yes, but the government's not going to come and get you if you break this country's laws.
What are you talking about? We do all the time. There's obviously there's a limit. If you kill somebody or sexually assault somebody, or you were dealing drugs or something like that, we're probably not. But of course, we do it all the fucking time.
Break the laws. You murder somebody, you're doing drugs, whatever. If
not doing drugs, like dealing them.
That's the law. You should be pretty aware of it. Nobody's coming over to Saudi Arabia to rescue me if I happen to bring in a box of Bibles.
Okay, first of all, fucko. What? That's the crime he goes for. That's the only thing Glenn Beck could ever be guilty of. Okay, hold on. U.S. negotiates release of, let's say, Christian missionary. Let's see. Let's find a history of missiology. Okay, here's a good example. Kidnappers in Haiti demand $17 million to free missionary group. They were Christians. Gang abducted 17 people associated with a Christian aid group, including 5 children, most being held as Americans. 1 is Canadian, so obviously left that one behind. Let's see. Prison release. We'll have to go back a while because of that. That one ate up a bunch. Let's see. Hey, North Korea. Announced that 3 prisoners were released for. Here you go. There's a Trump one. How about that? North Korea frees American Christians. President Trump announced that the 3 prisoners have been released prior to his historic meeting with Kim Jong-un. 3 Korean American evangelicals held as prisoners in North Korea for at least a year are now on their way home. I am pleased to inform you the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is on the air on his way back from North Korea. The president wrote. Pompeo was said to bring up the plight of the Christian prisoners Kim Dong-chul, Kim Hak-song, and Kim Sang-duk. During his initial visit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Their release comes as the president. Okay, the 3 Christians spent a year and 3 years. Sorry, between a year and 3 years detained in North Korea. The 2 previously worked at a private university in the country's capital. Let's see. Were arrested and charged with hostile acts against the government. The same erroneous charge levied against the missionary Kenneth Bae, who was released in 2014. I don't remember who was president then. Let's see. Kenneth Bae, How I Kept the Faith in a North Korean Prison Camp. Why this missionary's prayer changed from send me home to Lord, send me home, Lord, to use me. Has a persecuted Christian ever had a more unlikely champion than Dennis Rodman? The eccentric former NBA star made a bizarre cameo in the drama surrounding Kenneth Bae, an American missionary accused of plotting to overthrow the North Korean government and condemned to 15 years of hard labor shortly after it. Calling out the Supreme Leader, as I call him Kim, to do me a solid and cut Kenneth Bae loose, said, okay, what led him to become a missionary? Grow up in, were you scared entering there? What was the labor camp like? What did you think about while you were working in the fields? Were you able to make a relationship with your guards? Did any guard or staff become a Christian? Not that I know of. What did Dennis involve? Okay. Could U.S. Christians have done more to support you? I don't think so. I was overwhelmed to know how many people were calling for my release during the years in North Korea. I never felt like I was alone or abandoned because I felt prayers and support, God's power, blah, blah, blah. How did the whole experience change? Okay, how about your wife? What type of work are you doing now? Do you have any ambition to return? They don't ask him. Do they ask him why he was, other than that he was accused of being grabbed? Okay, hold on. I need to know. Okay, so Kenneth Bae crimes. Let's just do that. North Koreans convicted by North Korea on charges of planning to overthrow the North Korean government, including setting up base in China for the purpose of toppling the government. Okay, who is he? Why is he there? Okay, this is him when he was being held. Or no, that's a different guy. That's Kim Jong-un. Okay, who is Kenneth Bae and why is he being held? Combatants in response, Rodman. Okay, do you understand what he did in this country? Rodman asked Cuomo. No. You tell me. Why is he held captive in this country? Why? Okay, who is Bae? What happened? This much everybody appears to agree on. Bae was on the first day of a 5-day tour when he was arrested November 3rd, 2012, in Rason, an area along the northeastern coast of North Korea that has been established by Pyongyang as a special economic zone to promote trade and investment. U.S. officials have struggled to establish how exactly Bae ran afoul of North Korean authorities. Word of Bae's arrest first surfaced in South Korea media reports after he was detained. Nearly 2 weeks after detaining Bae, North Korea's official news agency confirmed his arrest, saying only he was picked up for a crime against the state. Bae was among their allegations. He was setting up bases in China to topple the North Korean government. He was encouraging North Korean citizens to bring down the government, and he was conducting a malignant smear campaign. In May, the government accused Bae of planning a Jericho operation to bring down the government through religious activities. This is exactly it. Like, dude, literally bringing Bibles and Christian teachings into the country. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's against the law. Okay,
dumbass. No.
So I don't like the fact that we're going for. I don't mind it because I think the punishment is so harsh, but I don't.
He means the 9 years she got, I think.
Like the fact that we've gone after this woman, which I believe we're really only making this big of a deal out of Not
because she's black and a lesbian, and she's in the WNBA, and they don't make as much as the NBA.
Not that we shouldn't rescue her.
How are you not on tilt from all the stupid? I don't know how you do it. Because I'm not emotionally connected to their idiocy. I think the ideas and the concepts are serious enough that I refuse to take these idiots seriously. So I can always keep my general lightness of being, because like this asshole doesn't define anything. This is but it's important to see where these arguments come from and how they translate, right? How they get from one organization to another, and it's really fun actually today in particular, watching them kind of tap dance around, I'm for, she shouldn't, but she got an American, but it's not, I don't hate that she's a lesbian. It's just that I think that's the only reason she got it. Like that whole tap dance is so fun to fucking watch. Yeah, he's a serious idiot. That is an argument there. Sure, James.
Or anything else, but we are willing to trade away
a useless arms dealer whose entire gig before was taking arms that Russia had too many of and selling them in war zones at a time when Russia is running out of weapons. What the fuck is he going to do? Like I said, are they going to send him down to Africa to get some of their fucking guns back?
A brutal killer. A guy who is called the Merchant of Death.
And you know what? You could have added, if Brittany Griner died in detention, you could have added her death to his body count. Because we would have been unwilling to trade for that fucking dude. Also, again, that dude, Victor Boot, has never had it so good, with the exception of at the height of his trade when he was being his most disgusting self, being safe in an Illinois prison, getting 3 hots and a cot in medical. Now he's going back to Russia when the whole fucking place is on a dive.
And I believe we're only doing it because
she's black and she's a lesbian and basketball.
Because of the sexuality of Griner.
There's several.
Right. No, if she was a straight woman, we would have left her there. It's not enough to be a black woman. You have to check more than one box, or we're not going to get the fuck out of here.
Play here.
It's a gift to the LGBT community.
Jesus Christ. Like, this is so fucking gross. Because that's what the Biden administration is like. Fuck, we're so screwed having just passed the Defense of Marriage Act. Oh no, we need one more thing. The gays don't like us enough. And specifically, not even the gays, the lesbians don't like us enough. Especially the ones that want to get married. Like the narrowing and fucking narrowing of, like, we've got to laser target the desiring of marriage lesbians more than just passing a law so that their fucking marriages are recognized in the entire country. Something else. It's just not doing it. Get the fuck out of here.
Because he's going to take out Sam, is his name
Brinson?
Sam Britton.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So the dude who stole luggage, who's getting kicked to the curb. Like, by the way, Sam Brinton is an asshole. This is Sam Brinton. He's non-binary. And I don't know. Does Sam use they them? Hold on. Uses let's see. Brendan was charged last month. Now felony arrest. Uses they them. So they. Sam, who is non-binary, got busted swiping a suitcase in Vegas, and then did it again somewhere else. And now there's a felony arrest warrant out for Sam, and they have been on leave since the charges came down. That's it. And do you fucking think that the LGBT community is like, oh, no, you don't. You have to let us be thieves. If you think that lesbians, gays, and bisexuals and other transgender people or non-binary people are going to argue that if you fire this dude, you have to give us something else. Like nobody fucking thinks that's a real thing. Right? This shit out of here. Good Lord. And look at Stu looking at Glenn like, because it's sometimes Stu's job to give Glenn Beck side eye when he just talks out of his ass.
Yeah, that was Brinson, but
which is most of the time.
You know, that you're talking about. Yeah, the person who keeps stealing luggage at airports.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Look, nobody gives a rat fuck if Sam Brinton gets fired. No one.
Well, I mean, I think it's partially that. I think there.
No, it isn't. You have to say that because he's your boss.
Is a fame component to it. She's a famous prisoner.
Yes.
There is probably there's a multiple
She's a woman in a Russian fucking prison.
Sectional lines she crosses off. It's not just the LGBTQIA2+ community.
Yeah, right.
So that's there as well.
And America loves their WNBA. I mean,
they're just. By the way, that's meant to be a snide comment about how much nobody gives a fuck.
There's a lot of passion for the WNBA.
Here's my.
By the way, they have to make that a sarcastic statement because it eats into their narrative that she's famous.
Biggest problem. My biggest problem with this is I guess America does.
By the way, she's famous because she was given 9 years in a Russian prison for THC vaping cartridges.
Does negotiate for terrorists.
That's scary.
This should.
Okay, first of all, the statement is we don't negotiate with terrorists. Also, he's an arms dealer who worked with terrorists. He's not he's not a suicide bomber. We didn't release a suicide bomber to another suicide bomber. And again, his entire skill set is completely useless for the most part. I would say it's mostly useless in this current circumstance Russia finds itself in. And there's a very strong chance they might just make him a general and send him to the front lines.
Warning, do not go to any country that is in the least shape or form anti-American because...
Right. Just use Glenn Beck's travel agent.
You are now a target to get a known deadly terrorist out of prison.
To be used as a chip, right? And we should, and I know you mentioned this off the air, but we should point out that there's a good chance that she didn't actually commit a crime.
Yeah, because
we don't know if she committed this crime or not.
She admitted it, but she admitted it in Russia.
In Russian court, right?
I mean,
you have to.
What are you going to do?
Right. It could very well be that she said whatever she had to say at that time.
And I'm glad she's out, and I'm glad she's home. I don't like the fact that we left the FBI or the former Marine there. We can leave the FBI agent there, but not the...
All right, by the way, that's meant to be a cute little aside to cover his fuck up. But the idea is that we would leave an American FBI agent in a Russian prison for the same, I guess, for spying, I suppose. If we why bother getting them back?
Former Marine, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why is he a former Marine, Glenn? Because obviously the Bo Bergdahl thing, they're all like, that was a fucking waste.
Can we get a little more for Victor Bout?
Boot.
Here's the CBS 60 Minutes segment on who this guy is.
Victor Bout.
Okay, hold on. I can't replay this because they'll. Yeah, but the whole purpose is this dude traded arms from Russia and spread them all over the world. He gave them out in Africa, sold them, put together these things. Okay, okay.
Is the potpourri of global scum.
So let's see. We're funding the war for Ukraine, trying to defend itself against Russia, and we hand over a guy who knows how to arm and knows how to take war and escalate it into a massive killing machine.
Okay, first of all, fucko, the Russians don't need any help with that. Well, maybe they do because they suck. But the idea is that he's used to work. He works with like tribal leaders and cartels and shit like that. If he tried that shit in Ukraine, he would butt heads with the Wagner group and they'd fucking murder him.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's
Is that why Glenn's wearing camo today? Because he's afraid?
worth the WNBA player.
Look, that's maybe the most amazing part. That you could really make the argument that no matter how many prisoners they had, we shouldn't trade this guy for them.
No.
He is one of the most, I mean, he's responsible for, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of deaths. When he was captured, he was...
And by the way, in the next, I guess, 14 years, if Victor Boot got cancer or if he got any kind of an illness, the U.S. taxpayer would be giving him free health care for the next 14 years. Has been for the last 11. Just saying. It would be up to us. He didn't get the death penalty in this fucking country. Nope.
Was trying to sell weapons to Colombian terrorists. And the Colombian terrorists said to Victor Boot, we are going to use these weapons. We may wind up shooting down U.S. pilots. And Boot...
Yeah, and he said, we have the same enemy.
Responded, we have the same enemy.
Right. Yeah, this is an old story. That was in Lord of War.
The person he was talking to was not actually a Colombian terrorist. He was an agent, an undercover agent, and they arrested him on the spot.
By the way, if this was a bunch of Michigan assholes who are trying to kidnap Whitmer, both of these dickheads would be making the case that that agent made this up and pushed Victor Boot to say something he wouldn't have normally said.
But he literally was in the middle of trying to kill U.S. citizens while he was arrested. I mentioned yesterday.
According to the testimony of federal agents, all of whom are of the sort that Glenn Beck and Stu have repeatedly decried for this kind of evidence.
And when you were out, Glenn, the movie Lord of War.
Yes, he has COVID. He has a heart condition. Like, dude's not going to last. And he's certainly not going to, they're not going to fucking fly him to Africa and get their weapons back. Get out of here.
Nicolas Cage, which is about this guy's life, pretty close to it. They changed his name, they changed some of the details, but it's pretty close.
Change his hairline.
Close to his life. And you see how he did this. He went into the Soviet Union as it was collapsing and, in a business sense, in an evil sense, a brilliant way, realized that there was no more oversight from the central government of all.
And then what did he do with the Russian stuff that was there? You might be onto something, Stu. You might have accidentally walked into the detail rake that everybody else has managed to avoid. Glenn, there's a reason why you don't let Stu fill in too many blanks by being as dumb as you are.
All of these weapons, so he bought them for pennies on the dollar.
He bought Russian weapons inside Russia for pennies on the dollar. And then what did he do with them?
Bribed officials locally in the military who had lost support from Moscow. They know.
And then so people making money selling Russian arms that they were in command of and
no longer had the funds coming in.
Right.
He would ship them all across the world, and it's true.
Yeah, he would just ship them all across the world. He was like the Amazon of weapons of war.
True. I mean, Liberia.
Where did he ship them from?
Liberia, all over Western Africa. He created, major problems and mass armies that killed all sorts of innocent people, including, villages of women and children, reportedly in front of him as these deals were going down.
So here is what NBC News reported, because everybody's talking about the FBI, or the Marine that we left behind.
That we left behind. And by we, he means the Trump administration.
Whalen. He has been left behind. The White House, originally, this is what NBC reported.
All right. So this is the misprint from NBC's reporting where they misunderstood what the deal was. And so they just fixed it. And this is the big conspiracy theory, that at some point Russia was offering either of them. You pick which one. You make the Sophie's choice in this circumstance. And and that ultimately what in exchange for Victor Boot, you can have one of these people. And in reality, it was just you can have her for Victor Boot. You can't have Whelan. And that was where they corrected the story to show that. But the conspiracy theory currently is that the U.S. chose her over Paul Whelan because she's a black lesbian. And it was all politics.
Victor Boot, a Russian arms dealer who served 11 years of a 25-year sentence in the U.S., but the official said, this is a senior U.S. official, said Russia treated Whelan differently because he's an accused spy. And the Kremlin gave the White House the choice of either Greiner or Whelan, or none. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, NBC changes that.
Yes, to what the actual deal was.
Without announcing it.
Without announcing it, stealth edit, okay? Is accused spy, and the Kremlin...
By the way, as a, quote, stealth edit, they, I think at the bottom of the article, it says this part of the article was changed. They didn't lie about it.
Ultimately gave the White House a choice of either Greiner or no one after different options were proposed. So why did they change this?
Because it was closer to the truth.
Why did they change it with Nancy Pelosi's husband?
They didn't.
NBC should have zero credibility in your world. Zero.
Dude, you said there was going to be a red wave.
We reached out to NBC because we'd like to have them be on record. Why did they make the change to the story? Why did they make it without an editorial note? Did someone at the White House reach out to ask for the change? Did the original source recant or stand by their initial claim? Do you stand by that source and their credibility? They haven't answered. They just added their editorial correction. An earlier version of this article misstated the choice of Biden administration was given.
Yes, so they did put the editorial correction on there.
Over the hostage, it was a swap for Greiner or no one, not a choice between Greiner and Whelan.
Right.
That's exactly what you do.
Yeah. Don't believe it.
Right. This is the same place that's suspending reporters for accurate reports on the Pelosi incident.
Yeah, the guy is still not. We don't even...
They disappeared him.
He disappeared him. I mean, I don't think anything. He's probably on the beach someplace, but where is he?
No one's on the beach in San Francisco. It's too cold.
Where is he and why? NBC is absolutely in the pocket for the White House.
They're well...
when they should be in the pocket for Vladimir Putin, I suppose.
Sourced, Glenn. That's what they call it in the media.
Yeah,
we're well sourced.
Yeah, we got it right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. And we reported exactly what they told us to say. That's how this works.
Jawohl.
They have...
Okay, so the NBC News is Nazi propaganda. Jawohl. Oh, they're not talking about Nearly Impossible. They're not talking about where Paul Pelosi is. They're talking about the reporter who misrepresented what happened when the police arrived. That there was a discussion 7 feet into the room and all this, and everything was fine, and that they knew each other and yada yada, all that story, which turned out to be bullshit.
Have contacts deep inside the government who tell them exactly what they should print, and if they don't print it, they don't get the next scoop. So,
well, if they print it and it turns out to be wrong, it's not a scoop, fuckhead.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then that's true, Balthanos. He says, fun fact, Glenn Beck got fired from Fox News. Yes, he got fired from CNN or HLN, I think, technically speaking, for bitching about healthcare after his botched colonoscopy.
And have all of the scoops
and there's a lot
want.
wrong with it. And then, of course, they're also politically aligned, so that makes it a lot easier.
You're going to go off. You're going to go against the office of Goebbels. Are you going to really do that? I wouldn't.
Holy shit! I mean, look how he's so comfortable calling the U.S. government effectively a Nazi organization, and this same fuck is always decrying that the right get called Nazis unfairly. All the Goebbels, Karine Jean-Pierre is the new Goebbels.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and by the way, they get out of that clip before Stu can go, oh, well, yeah, Goebbels. Because he'll sometimes push back on that shit when Glenn says it. Not today, though, or at least they've learned not to let him. By the way, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. And I'm on Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. for the morning show for 2 hours. And then tomorrow is the radio show, HAL Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide. And I've been on WCPT radio there for 13 years. Tomorrow, it's a 2-hour show. And tomorrow in the second hour, Philip Bittner will be calling in via video, and I'll be streaming it as well. If you're new, welcome. And he'll be giving us the direct update from there. Good times all around. And now I'm running. I'm running out of time, but it's one of those days where we just sometimes in between, like how aggravating and gross some of these people are. We need like a palate cleanser of something just generically stupid. And we can always count on Mike Pillow and Brannon House over at frankclips.com. And, or just if you want to, by the way, sign up on twitch.tv/HalSparks, you can go to fwank.com, FWANQ.com. And this one is obviously, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. It could be anything. And more than likely, it's election shit about Kerry Lake or something. But it's just like they're just giving up. More disgusting lies from the fake news media. Apparently, he's looking at a dick pic, and he was promised a much thicker penis, and he didn't get it. And it's just sad, and he's very upset. But we got to see. I got to see what the disgusting. These are disgusting lies. Okay, they're not your run of the mill, just fappery coming from this is filth. So prepare yourselves. Lock in. We'll see. Hold on. Here we go.
This one here I had to call out because it's just...
Yeah, you gotta.
Absolutely a lie and
disgusting. Oh,
the journalist is...
Oh, it's gross. I don't know if I can take it. Go ahead.
Jennifer Wood.
Not Jennifer. Oh, she didn't show her Wood, did she? It's like when you find out her name's Jennifer and then she's got Wood and you're like, wait a second.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. I just call it pure evil person.
Yeah, it's a pure evil person. What did she say? It's pure evil. What in the world? She probably wrote something that said, we should vote by throwing babies in wood chippers, and she wants to be the first to do it, and she did a demo video of how it would work. She's so gross. I can't take it. What'd she say?
And I'm going to say that. If I had no name thing called Uproxx Viral, wacky pillow man Mike Lindell is pissed at Tucker Carlson and Fox News for not letting him on the air to campaign to be head of the RNC.
Wait a minute. She called you wacky? That is pure evil. No, nobody puts Pillow in a corner. We're all sad now. Honest to God. How do we even... This is fantastic. Come on now. Somebody called you wacky? Why would somebody call you wacky? Like there's something wrong with your tobacco. For God's sake. How can you even say that to him? That's not nice. Come on now. She said that pure evil of the evilest sort. This is Rosemary's Baby meets Buffalo Bill meets Edmund Kemper at a soda fountain outside a schoolyard. This is fucking fantastically horrible.
Probably the biggest lie I've ever heard.
Probably. She's
to Tucker Carlson.
Hold on, she's so awful. She left the L out of probably. What a vicious, terrible woman. Oh my God.
And Fox News.
Yeah, no, terrible. And she's mentioned your name and Fox in the same sentence. Oh, God.
No, you know what was said here? Then she goes down.
Oh, it's just evil. She draws you a picture of a penis or something. Come on.
She puts all this stuff.
She just, it's that evil. She put all this stuff.
So she starts her article.
She starts her article.
Mike Lindell, the...
Oh, she called you by... She doesn't even have the decency to call you Mike Pillow. God damn it.
Conspiracy theorist and one...
Oh, she calls you conspiracy. This is pure evil.
Omnipresent. Once omnipresent pillow infomercial.
Oh, once omnipresent. She says you're not... God damn it. She says you're not omnipresent anymore. You're just semi-present.
Pitchman.
Marginally present. Barely present. Oh, it's just sad.
Like I'm still not on TV pitching.
Yeah.
Pillows, right?
No, certainly not at the level you were before now. God damn it. Because of Fox. Because they out-foxed you.
Company actually has an F rating with the Better Business Bureau.
No argument there, obviously.
That's true. She did write a true statement, but it's...
Yeah, you do have an F rating from the Better Business Bureau for, pretending to sell two pillows for the price of one and always keeping the price the same, which is theft.
So relevant this time we're in.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a war. There's all this stuff. We just traded a black lesbian woman in exchange for a white guy with guns. That's not fair. And because he's got his Second Amendment rights as an accidental American, he's been living here for a longer time than a lot of Americans, and that kind of thing.
Is ready for his next challenge, being in charge of the Republican Party.
Oh, bet you are. Come on, he's going to be great.
Something Seth Meyers cannot wrap his head around.
The late night talk show host?
And she goes on and on.
She like revamps the bit probably, which is the evil part. Seth Meyers bits. That's fucking horrifying. Oh my God.
Then she gets down here, and now here's what...
Yeah, skip through some of the evil. I just can't fucking take it.
Yeah, they're bringing up to discuss many reasons why a crack addict... Mike Lindell went on his frank speech, his own live stream, to discuss how the reason why a crack addict turned pillow salesman who has spent an estimated $40 million of his own money to push bogus theories about the 2020 presidential...
Okay, so far, no lies detected. But wait, she's evil. That's how she's doing it, because they use real truth to lure you in, and that's when they spring on you.
Election being rigged is the right person to lead the GOP. Well, let me tell you something.
I never had any idea that evil could be so boring. Read faster.
Miss Jennifer Wood.
Come on. You can't say Wood like that and not have me snicker.
I've spent
I just met her.
Most of my money on getting rid of them, trying to get rid of these machines to save your country.
Yeah, terrible. Doesn't she realize that? She's trying to save your country, Miss Wood, if that is your real name, or if you're not just from a forest someplace in Saskatchewan.
So you'll actually have a job when this is all done.
Yeah, reporting on communism.
Jennifer Wood.
Yeah, if that is your real name.
And it keeps going on.
Yeah, that's the evil part. It just goes on, and she never gives up, and it's fucking relentless.
It goes down. It's just so disgusting.
It's disgusting and evil, and thanks for not reading the disgusting evil parts and just pointing out where she was kind of right.
But you get down to the bottom, she never says...
Oh boy, I hope we get down to the bottom.
...anything. Oh,
that's where hell is.
Here's where she gets the headline from, Brandon.
Okay, here we go. Here comes the headline. I'm fantastic. It's going to be great.
Mike Lindell said, I wonder if Fox News is going to let me come on and say that too, because they had someone else running for, they had Harmeet on, and she's also running for the chair.
Right, and that, so far, facts.
And all I said was, I wonder if Fox News is going to let me come on and say that too. I don't know. Good headline, Jennifer Wood.
Yeah, would. If I could, would you? If I could, would you? Sorry, back to where we were. Fantastic. That was great singing. I liked it. Could you do some of the verse as well? That was fantastic. Know me broken by my master. Teach me, a child of love hereafter. Fantastic. Sorry, that was really good. How about that like pre-chorus part? That was, I mean, I don't know if you can pull that off. Into the flood again. Same old trip it was back then. So I made a big mistake. Try to see it once my way. You know what? I take it back. That was great. Wow. I'm shocked and amazed. That's some mighty fine singing. Fresh out of the gate like that. And all it took was that the last name of the lady was Wood. Wow.
And this, you know,
I can't wait if one day maybe there'll be like an Indian person and their whole name will be, Paramahansa, never gonna give you up. You know what I mean? We're no stranger to love. Sorry. Just a dick move. Okay, fantastic. Let's go.
It's ones like these that just, it just disgusts me.
Yeah, it's terrible, disgusting. She comes up with a headline that's basically I mean, the thing about the devil is he convinces you he doesn't exist by doing exactly what you'd expect, by looking exactly like you'd expect him to do. And that's what's evil about this article, is that right about the time you're calling her a big fat liar, she goes ahead and tells the truth.
And it's not, Jennifer Wood doesn't even have the, I don't know if she doesn't have my phone number.
I have your phone number and you won't return my goddamn calls.
Pretty sure she would. Jennifer, why don't you call me for comment?
You.
Yeah,
because you know why she won't call you? Because she's fucking evil. That's why she's disgusting and evil, pure evil. That's why.
Why don't you call me for some of these things here if you're looking for some facts?
She didn't get any facts wrong, though.
Anyway.
She literally got all of it right.
I just get so disgusted because we're in it. Not that I don't care what they say about me.
Especially when it's true.
What I care about is that they would report stuff that's relevant to right now. Like we're going to report right here.
Right. I don't want to burst your bubble there, Mike, but come on, man. You are actually running for the RNC, and you literally did just bitch that they had on the other person who was running and not you. You asked that exact thing, and she reported on you asking that exact fucking thing.
Right. Instead, the journalists sit there and they're going to look for sound bites out of this airing of what they can do to...
Sound bites out of your earrings. Look, I'm wearing earrings, and unless I wear the other ones and they clang together, you can't hear them at all.
Attack Mike Lindell and get a headline.
Hey, don't try to do my voice now. Come on.
Lindell is pissed at Tucker Carlson and Fox News. Absolutely not true.
Wait a minute. Mike Lindell is not pissed at Fox News? When did that start? Hold on. 1 second. I've got to look something up. Oh, I don't have the mustache anymore. It's fine. Hold on. Mike Lindell, angry Fox. Mm-hmm.
MyPillow CEO and election conspiracy promoter Mike Lindell is pulling his ads.
The biggest fraud and the biggest crime, I believe, against humanity.
Lindell's pillow. It's towel pillow guys
Isn't doing their job.
His pulling all of his other ads in response.
Fox isn't doing their job.
His frustration with Fox has been palpable for months.
Is Fox here?
As he has descended further into a dangerous voter fraud fantasy land.
The election was hacked.
Even Fox has tuned him out. Now, Lindell.
It's going to be 9-0. They're going to take this election down.
By the way, that didn't turn out to be the case, just for the record. Yeah. By the way, I'm glad you guys appreciate the singing. I am trying to, on the upcoming jam nights, I am my goal is to, for the next few, is I'm going to ask the guys to do a one for HAL on the jam nights. And so far, the songs I want to do are Cult of Personality by Living Colour. I'd like to work that one in. And I would like to do well, I mean, there's a few. There'll be surprises. But the other one is, of course, an Alice in Chains song as well. I don't think I'll ever get them to do Godsmack because, like, that's the one everybody's like, I don't even know if they know that song, and everybody should because it's fucking great. Don't Strain. It's no strain, actually. It's actually very easy to sing those songs. It's very natural to my own voice. So... yeah, I've done Man in the Box. There's plenty of footage of me doing Man in the Box online. If you look up YouTube, look up Hal Sparks Man in the Box. I've sung it with Steel Panther multiple times. Rooster is one of them, but there's one that that I've done with 01 called It Ain't Like That, and they used to open with it all the time. And I think one of the things I think a good theme for the January Jam is all openers. These are the songs that bands open with. This is their starting song. So like I Don't Know by Ozzy Osbourne and It Ain't Like That by Alice in Chains or Detroit Rock City. Songs that are like classically, this is the song that they open with the most. And then, and then the other one will be, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's So Easy. Is that, so I will, fucking stuck in the 90s. I am not stuck in the 90s by any sense. Yeah. Living Colour, that's some great vocal range. It is. Fire, Fire by Easy-O. Yeah, I don't know that they opened with that one. I've done an Easy-O song with my band before. So, Box of Rain, see that? Pain I'm Used To by Depeche Mode. Like, getting a, sort of those classic ones. So American Psycho, thank you very much. Wolfmother's Woman is cool. You know who would disagree with you? Faith No More. So, all right. Anyways, that's it. Do Cult of Personality, that's CM Punk's theme song. Nice. Yeah, I will definitely. Look in my eyes. What do you see? The Cult of Personality. Right? I mean, come on. I know your anger. I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of... See what I mean? Like, I can do it. It'll happen. I'm just saying. It's clobbering time. There we go. All right, now back to the show, because we had to finish up this little piece. I'm over time already. Am I? No, I'm right at time. Hold on. Good stuff. Let's get this out of the way, and then this short little piece, and then is this one? How long is this one? That's longer, and then we'll get rid of that one. I think. Let's see. I got. Let's see. So. I want to do this one because we haven't really covered this part of it too much. But so welcome, by the way. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. I'm going a little bit over tonight, not much, but I do love rears its ugly head. Oh, we'll do some Guns N' Roses. Believe me, it's not Jimmy Dore. It's Captain Marzipan himself, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Bolling. The man who gets candy corn injected into his face, I think at this point. He's the guy who single-handedly fucked John Paul McIsaac's entire story around the Hunter Biden laptop myth. Good times. So, and this is Trump, I think, Alina Hubba, right? Yeah, Alina Hubba. It says the name of this is Trump lawyer. He's laughing at all of this. Yes, because people who are losing their minds often laugh uncontrollably. How do I cover any Skid Row songs? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, we so do. Youth Gone Wild. I've done. You can look up me doing Youth Gone Wild with Steel Panther as well. It's a good time. I would like to do, and I've done 18 in Life. I sang that with Sebastian Bach on Celebrity Duets, and that was before I actually learned how to really find the singing on that. So yeah, we'll do some Queensryche. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah. Wait, here you go. I don't know if I'm gonna blow out my mic again though. Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart of stone. Lived 9 to 5 and he worked his fingers to the bone. There it is. That's the note. No warm up. Straight out of the. I'm just saying. Yeah. It sticks. We're just gonna end up doing like requests. Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling. Of course. Check out Starcrawler. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just saying. The Dream Police. Yeah. Yes, please sing to us. Sometimes we need that break, don't we? Okay, real quick. Yeah. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Oh, yeah. We have to do that one just because my girlfriend's a Steelers fan. I also had a good idea for the jam where we would do songs that are associated with like sports figures or bands. Like there's a song that everybody does at a, that gets played a lot. Yeah. Yeah! The Chain. The Chain is a difficult one to play. It's not hard to sing, but it's got a bluegrass timing. Yeah. Sarah Smile, right? That's a good idea. Thanks. Go Steelers, absolutely. That's exactly why. Dockin', well, we've definitely done some. How's always nailed it. Well, yeah. Queen. I think they opened with Bohemian Rhapsody at the Big Us Festival one, right? Sweet Carolina, good times never look so good. One of the funniest things I've ever seen is the Neil Diamond Christmas special. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. It's just hilarious. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to a show. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. We took a musical break, and we're back with Captain Marzipan himself. And kittens. Yes, we'll have kittens too. If you hang around for this last clip, there will be kittens at the end of this. I'll have to run upstairs and get one. I've done some Nickelback there. We kick some Nickelback out of there. Oh yeah, it's a good time. All right, so now back to subject. Okay, Alina Hubba is on Eric Bolling.
General Counsel Jim Baker for suppressing information. We uncovered Baker
also didn't suppress stuff at all. Just making sure Twitter doesn't get in trouble.
Served as FBI General Counsel and played a key role in the now debunked Russian collusion investigation.
No, wrong.
Journalist.
What, was he just waiting for someone to go applause? What was he holding for?
Matt Taibbi,
laughter.
Who shared the Twitter files last Friday, revealed yesterday it was Baker who was vetting the documents prior to the Twitter release. Remember that? It took an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. They were late. Let's bring in senior MAGA advisor.
That's Elon Musk's fault. He didn't even know who the fucking lawyer was. And still they rushed it, and they ended up releasing 2 people's email addresses, including Jack Dorsey's.
And attorney for President Trump, Alina Habba. Alina, these things, this information keeps flying out of Twitter. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just ejaculating right out of Twitter. And it's interesting that they're only covering the right-wingers that were affected by this. Notice the total lack of honesty about the literal both-siderism at Twitter. But yeah.
Start with this James Baker.
Now, what's that phrase? Lies by omission?
Mm-hmm. Guy. This guy's deputy general counsel at Twitter. Guy also had a long history of hating Trump, didn't he?
Well, yeah, a lot of people who have seen the evidence against Trump hate him. They eventually develop a hate.
Yes, he did. He was on the witness stand at the Durham trial and gave a lot of information about how he...
The Durham trial? Oh, you mean that fart in a bag that never went anywhere?
Had basically failed to go through normal protocols, Sussman's case and basically moved on from the FBI once everything came out about Russiagate and the Russia hoax, and decided to
Which it was neither.
go get a job at Twitter. More importantly, guess who
He just decided to? Is that how it works? You can just decide to get a job at Twitter?
got him that job at Twitter? His friends at Perkins Coie. He had a lawyer friend that helped him get that position, only to then help the DNC flag and decide which tweets would and would not go out during election season.
Yeah, but then the White House was doing that too, and they actually had the power of the government behind them.
Cannot make it up.
Sure you can. You can. You know what you can make up is the part where you only talk about the side of it that reinforces your argument and ignore any evidence to the contrary.
It's a disturbing realization. I'm sad to see it. I am happy that Elon is taking the risk of being upfront and honest. God forbid, there's somebody in social media that is. But it's important for us.
How is he being honest? He is literally not showing the request from the Trump administration to remove tweets and to shadow ban and put people, knock accounts off. They acquiesced to those. They honored them. They were, quote unquote, handled. He's even said so. That was in the original Twitter files dump from Matt Taibbi. So why isn't he showing any of the emails from that? Why only the emails from the specifically from the campaign?
For us to know and see that this is what's going on and has been.
Oh, speaking of has been, how is Trump?
So let's stay on that for a second. In the free market, in the truly free market, companies
the truly free
can
market
do what they want. They can hire.
Yeah, in the truly free market, they can hire and do whatever they want. But this is not truly the free market.
They want. And they can, I guess, put their thumb on the scales the way they want. The difference in social media, and here's the difference. Section 230. Section 230 allows social media companies to be kind of a Chinese firewall from litigation. So they're not a real journalism group. Like if someone at Newsmax or Fox or MSNBC, if they did things that were bad, they could be sued for them. That Section 230 puts a prophylactic seal against some of these social media. So
a dental dam, if you will. It lubes up certain things so much so that they slip out and can't get back in.
They must be fair and balanced. They can't hire biased people like James Baker.
Well, again, James Baker's main thing was like vetting these emails that were going out, and still the biggest, I think, controversy about this stuff is the selective release of information. They have a lot of stuff, but they're only releasing the stuff that makes the tilt look one-sided on purpose. Again, lies of omission.
That's right.
That have nothing to do with James Baker.
But censorship is a real thing, and censorship has been a real problem for this country, especially during elections.
No, it hasn't.
And they really shouldn't be synonymous. You shouldn't be able to censor people that are trying to get information. It's unfair to the...
They aren't. You can't censor someone trying to get information. You can only censor the information that is coming out. And if you're not a government entity, you're not censoring stuff. And if you have a private organization, it's technically not censoring. You can carry whatever the fuck you want and deny whatever the fuck you want.
American people. It's not about...
Unless you're a big fat commie.
Politics. It's about being American. We're supposed to be able to turn on the TV or turn on social media or whatever venue you want to go to.
Yeah, the founding fathers said we should be able to turn on social media and see whatever we want to see.
To educate yourself.
Whether it's there or not.
And get an education. But we're not getting that.
Wait a minute. We're supposed to turn on the news and get an education? What?
Because we've got corrupt actors moving from one venue to another. If you look at what's happening with Donald Trump, with some of his cases, you have people that have moved from working at the Attorney General's office, then they go work in the Biden administration for the DOJ, and then, surprise, they move them to the DA in New York to come back.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a really sad thing that is happening.
That's just gibberish. Nobody was working at an AG or DA's office, went to work in the Biden administration, then went back there to go after Trump.
happening. I'm really proud of Elon Musk, but I have to say, it's not about what has happened. It's about what we're going to do in the future. And if we don't fix it, we will not.
I know what you're going to do in the future. You're going to represent a losing candidate for the presidency. Congratulations.
Change the American public's opinion of people and open their eyes to what is and what isn't, frankly.
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. What was that again? Run that by me again, stupid.
It's about what we're going to do in the future, and if we don't fix it, we will not change the American public's opinion of people and open their eyes to what is and what isn't, frankly.
Yes, frankly is I'm fucking confused. What? You know, and also the Iraq, and also, good fucking Lord.
Yeah, how we fix it though, you know, Lena, we don't have any.
I don't know how you fix her. Look at the look on her face. She knows full well she didn't say anything. That's one of those phases where you're like, oh, yeah, that's good. She's got Devin Nunes face right now.
Guys willing to drop $44 billion on Twitter because Facebook would be like hundreds of billions of dollars and whatnot. I think the only way to fix it is to, you know, expose what's going on. That's what Elon Musk is doing, fortunately.
Yeah, that's right. He's totally exposing one nut.
Hey, can I ask you this? How is Trump? You're close.
Yeah, to let us know, how is he? That's what we're really wondering about. Like, what's he? And by the way, he's asking her, look at her face immediately. Oh, God. This is not a question she wants to answer. Look at that.
You're close to the man. You talk to him.
And then she...
You spend a lot of time with him or talking to him. How is he handling this? Because if it were me, I'd be really pissed off about some of this stuff. Because these are all the things that he said were.
Yeah, how is it that he stays so strong? How is he so strong? How does he keep his strength? How does he do it? I would never be able to do that. I would be on a fainting couch like you wouldn't believe.
Happening, and they denied any of it was going on.
You know, he likes it when he can walk around giving air hand jobs to angels as they jizz on his forehead.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of...
He gives hand jobs to angels.
I told you so's, right? And I don't blame him.
Oh, that's his, by the way, that's his side fuck face that he does.
The man, every time he gets vindicated, anytime that he is cleared and he says, I told you so, you know, they come out with another lawsuit or another witch hunt, as he calls them, and attack.
As he calls them.
From the right, the left, the top, the bottom, anybody they can. And then when they run out of that, they go to his family, his company, and anybody else in his orbit.
Oh, okay. So they're going after you now?
How good can you be? You know, I'll tell you.
Yes. How good can you be? None of us can be as good as Donald John Trump. I mean, look, giving a DNA sample in a civil case where you're accused of libel because you are accused of sexually assaulting someone and they have a dress with your semen on it. I mean, how good can you be that you don't have to do that?
He's laughing. I spoke to him today. He was laughing. He was in good spirits. He has an amazing resilience that no other person I know does. And he also...
Yes, it's his strength is really that.
Also sees this for what it is. So I think his perspective is very real. He sees corruption and he says, look, I want to fix it. At this moment, I can't until I get back into office. So...
Right. So I'm just going to sit there and watch the corruption and laugh it off.
The way he can fix it is by
He's probably, if he was laughing, he was probably watching my show. Can I just say that? Because I can make anybody titter. Yeah.
American people, through people like me and many people on MAGA Inc. and anybody else that's out there.
MAGA Inc.
And is working to spread the word and
other things.
To fight in the courts, which is really our only option at this point. And it's difficult, but he is a strong person and he's incredibly, he's just resilient. He's resilient.
So it's wearing on him is what you're saying. And he was laughing. So you're like, okay, phew, he's not yelling at me.
Yeah, and he was.
Yeah. By the way, do they turn off the studio lights in Eric's studio just because his forehead is that off-putting?
In fact, you know, I bring this up. Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes said the Hunter Biden laptop story couldn't be verified, and he was sitting down in an interview with her, and he got mad, he got upset with it. I had an interview, I had a town hall with him about an hour after that. He was really mad at her because he knew it was a real deal.
No, it wasn't.
And she denied it, and by the way...
Well, no, because if you dare question it or you dare push back on it, all of MAGA freaks out. It's bullshit.
60 Minutes and CBS actually took 2 years to admit that the story was even real. So the guy was on to something 2 years ago, and this October surprise crap that they pulled.
Are you Leslie? Leslie, it's totally true, Leslie. Leslie, it's true. Leslie.
Yeah, they did change the face of the election. It's sad. I hope he does come back and maybe fix things if he gets back.
He is like that.
In the seat to do so. Alina Habba, always good having you on. Appreciate your time.
Thanks. Good to see you, Eric.
Yeah, and by the way, if you'll notice, nothing new said at all. Yeah, it was a crap attempt at an October surprise, the laptop, and it failed miserably, and they're still pissed. He's livid. Part of the reason why they're like, he's resilient, he's recovering, is because he's still fucking angry that this ham-handed bullshit never went anywhere. And Rasmussen, unfortunately, gave him this idea that 17% of Biden voters would have voted another way had they known about the laptop story, which they all fucking knew. Just get the fuck out of here. Like total Streisand effect with the laptop story. They were hoping for it, and quite frankly, there's reason to believe that somebody at Twitter literally stiff-armed it to benefit them because it would make people look like, oh my God, it's the truth. They're hiding the truth, and that actually drove it up. The problem was nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared because there was no there. Never has been, and he's still like livid over it, and it's beautiful. Yes, you're right, Lisa. He will never ever be president again. You can count on it. It's a big farty nothing burger. And I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks for watching the show. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the HAL SPARKS radio program, Mega Worldwide. Please give a thumbs up and support the show in any way that you can. Help us stay on our feet. You're the reason why the show exists. And help us grow by, if you're just a regular watcher, just hit that subscribe button. And it really does help. The thumbs up also help. And I guess on any of these clips, if you see them about, making a little comment and saying howdy, howdy, helps us out some as well. So I'm trying to be more pro about this. But until such time as you decide to subscribe and you keep coming back, I want to say thank you for sharing your time with me because it's the most valuable gift you have. I want to wish everybody happy holidays, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning early for the HAL SPARKS radio program, Mega Worldwide, 9 a.m. Pacific time to 11. Philip will be joining us in the 10 o'clock hour, and I will see you guys then. Until then, take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Okay, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, wait. I'll be back with kittens in a second. Hold on. Let me go see if I can find a kitten, and then I'll come back. Yes, kittens. Ash, hi. Look at this is Ash. Hi, Ash. Say hi, Ash. Yeah. How are you? This is Ash. For those of you who haven't seen, this is Ash. And there's Summer with Smokey. Look, I can walk in. You can see. Yeah.
Shaking.
Yeah. This is Ash, and that's Smokey. Smokey Robinson, because he's like it was Ash and Wednesday, but it turned out to be a boy, so we had to come, kind of a, yeah. Look at that, kitties. Hello. There you go. Yeah. Look at that. What are you doing? Yeah. So these are there. Yeah. They'll be with us for a couple more weeks. Yeah, so like and subscribe, support the show, help out. Thank you for donating, Bethany. We do foster kittens on the regular, and at some point we're going to buy a giant house just so Summer can have a huge room just for kittens. It's the goal. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Excellent.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boy, little one. Here you go, little one. Hi.
There you go. They're very sweet.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, they're super cute.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. $2 for the kitties. Thank you, Bethany, again.
Aw.
Yeah. And everybody's saying, hi, Summer.
Hi. Say hello.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello. Look at this. Look at this. Hooray. He's like chilling now. He's just here. Earlier, they were climbing all over us. They have very sharp claws.
Yeah, my back is...
Yeah, your back is kind of wrecked. Yeah, she's got some scratch marks on there right there. That's some serious business. Because this one runs up your back. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but they're very relaxed now. Yeah, they're much more chill than they were before.
I'm going.
Hello.
Make a jump for it.
Hello. Hi. Oh, I got you. Here you go. You want to take this? You want to take Ash? There you go. Hi. Oh, gosh, Smokey. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Sweet ones. What's going on, sweetums? Yeah. There you go. Lovely. All right. I agree. Summer is very pretty. And they love your ink. Yes. They like this. Where are you going? This one crawls all over your back. So, agreed. All right. There you go. Hi. Look at this. Look at you. Hello. Hello, you're attacking. What's going on here? Uh-huh. What's going on? Like, I want to run up her back where I leave the normal claw marks. All right, just chill out. There you go. You're okay. Where do you want to go? So, thanks, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and we're going to go pet some cats and do some home stuff. All right. Much love. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Bye.